Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub, Pub Sports Radio, Monday, February 14th. Ian Cameron, Dutch Boy Fresh, Trot Wham. We'll have Skee Profit with us in a few moments as well. Look at Dutch from the beautiful tropical paradise that is Hawaii, coming to us from Hawaii on this day, on this Monday.
That's right.
How was the vacation so far, Dutch?
Yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing. I can't lie. The Rams got it done. Shout out to my boy Wham Bam with the big plus money. But yeah, it's first night in yesterday. It was a good one. Got some sun. Got a beautiful game. A decent game, but hey, it ended well. But the -3 could have been a little better. But hey, it's all good, though, man. Loving it out here in Hawaii, Waikiki. And you know what the motto is? Like I was telling y'all before, we just hit the gym. The gym is stay fit. That's what it's called, boy. So it was calling my name. Got a good one in.
Right.
Now we're about to hit these motherfuckers straight over the head, even out here in Hawaii. Big shout out to everybody in the chat, too.
There we go. I love it. Good stuff indeed. I've been hitting them over the head with best bets for 2 weeks on this show. 11-0.
Yeah, man.
Best bet run going into this week. So can we make it last for a third straight week on this show? It's been unbelievable the month of February here in the NBA for me in general, but especially in best bets. And the whole show's been doing well. We've had a nice run here in the month of February. Almost pissed off that the All-Star break starts after Thursday night. Bad timing because we're all kind of feeling it right now in the NBA. And hope you listened to me on Friday's show with Memphis against Charlotte. I said jump on that Memphis side early. And actually, if you bet it early, you won. If you maybe bet it late and you got -7, you've unfortunately pushed because Memphis kind of fell asleep in the second half. Charlotte got back into that game, but we kind of said, bet that game early. That line was too low on Memphis, and they got it done if you bet them early for sure. Let's see if we can get it done today with the NBA card. Already 100 live viewers. Hit the like button. Let's go. We'll start with Detroit and Washington. We got the Wizards 4-point home favorites here, 218 the total in this game. Of course, the Wizards, since the trade deadline, of course, they've made some changes, of course, with their lineup. We're still, I think, awaiting Porzingis to finally play for the Wizards after they acquired him from the Dallas Mavericks. Looks like, though, he is going to be out once again tonight for the Washington Wizards. What else is new there? They're going to find out what Dallas has known the last few years. He's always a questionable every single game. But nevertheless, no Porzingis tonight for the Wizards. We'll see how things go here for them tonight against Detroit, who will have Cade Cunningham on the floor tonight. The Detroit Pistons, of course, he's been injured. He's been missing some time. He did return on Friday night against Charlotte. It didn't help their defense, that's for sure. They gave up 141 points, and they lost 141-119 to the Charlotte Hornets in that game. The only thing I would consider here is either a combination of the full game over. Washington's gone over in 3 straight. Detroit's gone over in 2 straight. They're not playing any defense, the Pistons. I'd consider the full game over, 217.5. Maybe more specifically, maybe look Wizards team total over 110.5 because, look, I mean, Washington has picked it up offensively the last couple games. They're actually playing a little bit faster as well, just a little bit. They picked up their pace. After struggling so much offensively, they put up 113 in a win against Brooklyn, 110 the last game against Sacramento. You see this Pistons team, what have they given up? 118, 116, 132, and 141 in each of their last 4 losses. They didn't cover in any of those games either. I think the Wizards could probably get over 110.5 team points in this game. So the team total for the Wizards, the full game over. Those would be 2 ways I'd consider betting this one. Wham, we'll start with you on this one. What do you think, Detroit, Washington?
Yeah, man, I'm thinking fading Detroit as well. They're allowing opponents 44% from 3 over the last 5 games. We know it's probably a good thing that they don't have Spencer Dinwiddie. Other guys can get involved. They've been running Neto. I think they get the chance to have Ish Smith in the fold of this today, so you may be getting a little bit of the point guard duties there. I'm looking here for Corey Kispert to go over the 2.5 threes at plus money. I believe it's at -170. For the 1.5 threes, but he's shooting the most threes over the last 6 games, about 6 attempts. And again, they're allowing opponents 44% from 3. So if he's getting about 11 attempts like he did last game, I think he could get over the 2.5 3-point makes for Corey Kispert. So that's the best bet for me in this game. If I was to be thinking about anything else, I agree. I think it's an over. First thing I think about, if Ish Smith is in the lineup, he's going to be trying to push the pace. So I like the over as well, like you.
All right, so leans to the over as well for Wham in this one with, definitely Ish Smith citing potential here. All right, Dutch, Pistons, Wizards.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to our guy Zachary, our girl Tiffany, Mr. Sam Comer, Sam I am. Yeah, man. Hit that motherfucking like button like I'm hitting this plane, a glue on fire. It's gonna get you right where you need to be. Hey, believe it. I don't leave home without it. No, no, no. That's a no-no. I don't leave home without the motherfucking goodie. Yeah, man. Hey, but real talk, you already know what we're doing with this game. Back with this motherfucker.
Yeah, I knew
Yeah.
it. Yeah, there you go. Two crap teams, two teams you can't trust. Easy backwood here for Dutch with this one. And look who's here. Just as we were about to roll into the second game on the card, we got him now. Just as we wrap up talking about this first initial game on the card, there he is, Skee Profit. Welcome in, Skee. Hope you had a good weekend. What do you think of this Detroit-Washington game?
Yeah, my bad, guys. My weekend was cool. It was well. You guys had a good weekend as well. For Detroit and Washington, only thing I really can think of here is to play on Kuzma. I just think a lot of any success that Washington will have is going to go. Detroit is kind of bottom 10 in all of the categories, so points, rebounds, assists. I'm not mad at that, but I just think Kuzma is the person you want to focus on. So that's what I'm looking at. Haven't made a bet yet.
All right, just maybe a look toward Kuzma props. All right, we go to Oklahoma City and New York. The Knicks 10-point home favorites here, 208.5 the total in this one. I sure as hell am not laying 10 points with the New York Knicks. No way, no how. That ain't going to happen. Simple as that. Now, the question is, can I get behind the Oklahoma City Thunder going into this game? Catching points, perhaps. I mean, last two games against the Sixers and the Bulls, they were underdogs in both of those. They got the point spread cover in both of those games against Chicago and Philly. Kind of a tough spot for Chicago, who didn't have Zach LaVine either Saturday night against Oklahoma City. But there's no way I'm taking New York. It would be make a case for Oklahoma City plus the point, or you leave the game alone. As far as the Knicks go with this game tonight, looks like Mitchell Robinson, game time decision. R.J. Barrett is going to remain out. Cam Reddish, also game time decision. Nerlens Noel. It's not easy, though, to back the Thunder simply because Lou Dort's out. That's a big loss. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's not coming back either before the All-Star break. So I guess I'd lean OKC, but I'm going to backwood it here with these two. Dutch, how about you? Thunder and Knicks.
Yeah, man, my fault. I had to bring my ass inside from the balcony. The motherfucking wind was smoking my joint. Can't have that. No. Back with this motherfucker. Hey, thanks for joining us, Skee. God damn it. Happy Valentine's Day, my brother.
There it is. Skee is with us now. Yep, that's all right. Skee likes to make a fashionable entrance. That's the way we. That's
he was with his fucking Valentine. That's probably what was wrong with his ass. Look at that smile. He's like, yeah.
There it is. Yeah. Hey, the women deserve attention on this one day of the entire year, right? If you got a girl, you got to give her some time, a day of Valentine's Day. If not today, when are you going to give her the time, right? Skee, what do you think here with Thunder and Knicks?
I agree that I don't want to lay with the Knicks. They haven't really even been playing good defense, and their lineup is just uninspiring. As far as the Thunder, they're missing a lot of players as well, and their offense has just been terrible. I think they're the worst offensive rated team in the last 5 games. So I was looking at this total, and initially I was thinking, it's low for a reason. They probably still can get under this number, but no Mitchell Robinson potentially, probably maybe no Noel, both on the injury report. It's not going to be any rim protection. And as far as the perimeter is concerned for New York, none of those guys are stopping the soul. So you see the total start to creep back up. And if we don't see those centers in there, or one of those centers is missing, I think it's more of an over-type game because these teams aren't even playing very slow. Like pace-wise, I think OKC is 11th last 5 games, and you're kind of middle of the pack. So that's what I'm looking at. If you miss one of the big men, I'll go up and over.
Liking the over, especially if there's a depleted front court tonight for the Knicks. And it's worth noting the Knicks have gone over in 4 of their last 6 games, well over the total. And even the Portland game got to 215. So we're talking, low 200s. And it's actually been a while since we've seen a New York game land below this total, actually. So they have been definitely more often than not going over this kind of total, no question. Wham, what do you think here, OKC, New York?
Yeah, you know what? Since Julius Randle had a little spat with a reporter about the trade discussions or fake news of some sort, he's been hooked. He's been cooking, man. He's been having 30-point games twice, 28 plus games over the last 3 straight games. Right now, the total of the points went from 19 to right now where we're seeing at 23 and a half. I think it's still pretty solid for Julius Randle to go over this points total here. Even though there has been a little bit better defense from the OKC, they're allowing opponents 109 points in the last 5 games. They've been playing pretty good there. But as far as like Skee said, I think this is going to be a little bit more of a faster tempo pace. I do kind of hope that Mitchell Robinson is in the lineup because his double-double seems like it will be a good look because both of these teams are allowing rebounds. I can see a little bricks here, a brick show here. And I can see them giving it up down low as well to OKC. So I'm looking for the props here. I'm thinking Julius Randle over 23 and a half. This is a play that I haven't made yet officially here, but that's the way I'm rocking here. It's been something that I've been hitting at a good rate. And I think RJ Barrett is out, like you mentioned, Ian. That's the only emphasis of him going over this total.
All right, good stuff indeed. All right, next up we go to Sacramento and Brooklyn, just down the road. From New York, Brooklyn. We've got Sacramento 2-point road favorites, 228 the total in this game. Total's gone up already 4 points. It's, for me, very difficult to argue with that. We see the Kings back to their all offense. That hasn't changed after the trade that they just had. They bring in, of course, Domantas Sabonis, among others, and still this team not giving it up at the defensive end of the basketball court. Some things never change, but I think that's going to continue to happen as long as Alvin Gentry is coaching that team. 5 straight overs for them. Their offense has been pretty good, though, the last couple games. Beat Minnesota, put up a 132, shot better than 50%. Shot nearly that against Washington on Saturday as well, 123, 110. That game goes over. So 5 straight overs for Sacramento, 3 straight overs for Brooklyn. Here's another one of many teams. Maybe it's just this malaise before the All-Star break. Teams are just tired and we don't give a shit defensively. But there's a lot of teams that are in that mindset right now. They just don't give a shit defensively. And Brooklyn looks like they're another one. I mean, 126 to Boston. They lose to Washington, can't get stops when they need to. They lose 115, 111 against Miami. Same thing. Miami shot 50%. Washington shot better than 50%. Boston blistered the Nets. 50 of 91 they scored shooting the ball against the Nets. So this team just ain't stopping anybody. The total's gone up. I agree. I wouldn't even touch the side. I don't trust either. So I would just say points, points, points. Skee, what do you think here? Kings, Nets.
I think neither team is good defensively, but I think, I was trying to figure out which player to kind of play on here, Sabonis or Fox. And at least Brooklyn has Claxton available today, and I think they have Drummond available as well. So at least a couple of big bodies to throw at Sabonis. As far as the perimeter, you got Patty Mills trying to check De'Aaron Fox, and I think that's who I'd rather roll with. He's gone over his 23 and a half points number 6 of the last 7 games. And Brooklyn, I want to say bottom 5, bottom 10 against point guards as far as points allowed. So I like Fox over 23 and a half points.
Fox, De'Aaron Fox, Sacramento Kings over 23 and a half points for Skee. Dutch, what do you think here? Sacramento, Brooklyn.
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy Nets Bets, Banana Grapes. And Zachary said it best, man. Back with this motherfucker real quick. Yeah.
All right, Wham. What about you here in Brooklyn?
Yeah, this is interesting, man, because it's not the same Brooklyn team that we're normally going to see. They're bad, terrible at defensive rebounds. As far as rebounds and considered, they're ranked 29th in defensive percentage, rebounding percentage, over the last 5 games. So I think with Drummond being added in, he's going to get some of those boards, bro, that they've been missing. So I kind of want to see this team play a little bit, but I'm not going to lie. I'm leaning towards the Nets. I think they may be able to figure it out a little bit better. I like Cam Thomas in this game, to probably have a 20-piece. I'm not seeing his props nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm not seeing that many people, but I do see Seth Curry. I don't want to just jump on Seth Curry that early. I want to see how these guys play. So it is a backwood for me. I did want to hear you guys talk about it, but after you hear you guys talking, I'm probably going to be off this game.
All right, there we go. I'm on the over. That's it. I'm just staying away from a side there. All right, Portland, Milwaukee. We got the Bucks, 11.5, 12-point home favorites, 224.5 the total. We've seen a big drop in the total, personnel related. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, doubtful, downgraded with an ankle injury, so don't expect him to play. Pat Connaughton is a big injury for Milwaukee. That's a big deal. He helps them offensively, instant offense usually for them off the bench. He's going to undergo surgery to repair a fractured metacarpal on his right hand. So this is going to be an extended absence for him. We're looking at probably late regular season, if not the playoffs, before we see Pat Connaughton again for the Milwaukee Bucks. So he's going to be out for a long period of time here. As far as the Blazers are concerned, another reason the total's gone down, it won't be Dame time tonight. Dame Doll is out. Damian Lillard out for the Blazers tonight. Eric Bledsoe looks like he's downgraded to out as well for the Blazers, so they're a little bit short-handed tonight. Milwaukee will probably end up rolling with Holiday, Allen, Middleton, Jordan Nwora, Bobby Portis is the starting five with both with Giannis out tonight in this game. I mean, certainly I'm not anxious to back Portland right now. The under has definitely gotten a lot of play. That's a lot of offense out of the lineup. Giannis, his point numbers have been off the charts lately. So you lose a lot of that with him out. Obviously, you lose that with Lillard out, so I can understand the case for the under. Portland's actually gone under in 6 of the last 7 games. Portland's on a 6-1 to the under run going into this game. It's the opposite for Milwaukee. They've kind of trended over the total, but even without Giannis, they're coming off getting crushed by Phoenix in the NBA Finals rematch, 131-107. They've been off since then, lots of rest. I don't want Portland. Lean Milwaukee, but I don't want to lay this much without Giannis. So backwood for me. Skee, what about you? Blazers, Bucks.
Yeah, I'm good on this game, man. I don't really love this card that much, and still feeling it from yesterday. So back with this game.
All right, backwood time for yesterday. Well, I'm trying to think. There was only 2 games yesterday, right? The NBA, yeah. There's only.
No, I'm just saying, like, Super Bowl. I was,
all sports.
enjoying myself.
Come on, Ian. Come on, man. Everybody getting fucked
I got
up,
you.
bro.
That's what you
We
meant.
were
If the
fucked
NBA
up.
card destroyed you yesterday, what the hell were you doing? There were only 2 games. Yeah, so I got it now.
Man.
I got it.
That's
I know
not
what
what we were doing. I didn't even look at the NBA until this morning. I can't lie to you. But yeah,
There we go.
It explains how things are going for me. Like I'm gonna shit the bed. I'm gonna be ice cold in a not too distant future in the NBA. But it tells you the way it's going for me right now. One bet I made yesterday in NBA was Minnesota Indiana over, and it was about as easy as you could ask for that game. But it's just the way it's gone. We're gonna hit a cold streak at some point. I know it. Hopefully later rather than sooner. Wham, what do you think here in this one? Portland, Milwaukee.
My guy Dutch, I think you gotta explain to the people what is a backwood. Explain that to them, man, for me, please, bro. Help them out.
All right, this is and I feel bad too because I feel like I just came on here and I'm about to do this. Might be a record, a 4 motherfucking piece of backwoods in a row. But man, a backwoods, a clear pass. It's a clear motherfucking pass, and to be honest with you, it's bad for your health. So do as you will, but it's bad for your health, and just pass that motherfucker on. Don't even touch that bitch. Next is what it is.
Don't even touch that motherfucker. Don't even touch that motherfucker. Well, yeah. I am actually thinking about touching this motherfucker here. I'm not gonna lie. Anthony Simons over 4.5 threes at plus money. I think you get the 3.5 at big juice there. So the 4.5 is the way to go. He can definitely hit this. This is a game that I didn't bet, so you have to look out for the Twitter here on this one. But it's probably not a backwood for me. This may be a little bit of that exotic that my guy said. You out there on vacation. And what I'm saying, you're somewhere and they just accidentally pass it to you. But no actual official bet here for me. But I am interested in seeing how Josh Hart backs his 20-plus game from his debut into Portland. Is he going to be a scorer here? Is he going to try to get rebounds? He didn't have any rebounds last game, so I am going to be keying in on him. That's for future shit. Other than that, that's the only way I'm looking.
All right, we go to the Toronto Raptors, New Orleans Pelicans next up. Raptors 3.5-point road favorites, 222 the total in this one. Proof that I do lose in the NBA lately happened in the last game the Toronto Raptors played against Denver. I laid the 3.5 with Toronto against Denver, and Red Hot Raptors team fell short, though. I'm going to give the Nuggets credit. They found a way. It was hard for them to slow down Jokic, who had a big game for the Nuggets. kind of a tricky spot. They were on the road. That first home game after you've been on the road for a bit always seems to get you, and it did Toronto in that game. Now they're back on the road. They'll play New Orleans tonight and then Minnesota on the road before the All-Star break. I think actually getting on the road is a good thing. They've been road warriors. I think they'll bounce back pretty strong tonight in this game. And from a defensive matchup standpoint, who's going to guard the backcourt for the Raptors if you're New Orleans? You got Devontae Graham on Van Vliet. That's not good. You got CJ McCollum. CJ McCollum can shoot and score, but he can't defend a lick. And he's got to check Gary Trent tonight. Wow, that's going to be a little bit of his former teammate, by the way. So, is that good? That's not exactly a great defensive matchup here for the Pelicans tonight in this game. New Orleans coming off back-to-back home losses against Miami and San Antonio, failed to cover in both of those games. I think you get the Raptors' focus here after a frustrating loss against the Nuggets on Saturday night at home. Go on the road, bounce back here. I think the price is short, reasonable enough for the Raptors here. I like them at -3.5. Dutch, what about you? Raptors, Pelicans.
Yeah, man, music to my motherfucking ears. Finally got a motherfucking look for you, and everything Ian said was a beautiful motherfucking thing. Believe it. And the motherfucker's been hot as fuck, so I love it that we're seeing clearly here. I know this is your team, but you don't always back them, so definitely not the case. But yeah, I think we're getting the Raptors here in a good spot. Everything you said, I agree with, especially from a defensive perspective. I think Van Vliet and Trent should get off. But what it really comes down to me, obviously they are the better team, the better coach team, and coming off a loss. And me as well. I usually stay away from the weekends game, getting a little more involved on the weekends a little bit late with the NBA. And the only bet I had, and I did give out, was the fucking Nuggets, was the Raptors, and they lose to the fucking Nuggets. I didn't see that coming on a back-to-back to Boston. But back to this game, I think it's a good spot for the Raptors here. The 5-0 ATS last 5 as a road favorite, 10-1 boys against the spread last 11 after a loss. They bounced back. They're a good team. Most importantly in this game is hit the fucking boards. They were out rebounded by 15 to the Nuggets on a back-to-back situation. You can't do that. These Pelicanos, they fucking can actually rebound, and especially on the offensive rebound. They're pretty good on offensive rebounds. So the number one thing for the Toronto Raptors is fucking block the fuck out. Hit the boards. Do not let them get second chance points, and this should be a double-digit win. 8-0 ATS, last 8, following an ATS loss as well. Very good sign there. 8-1 overall, the last 9 against the number. And they are 16-3, last 19, their trips to New Orleans. So they love the motherfucking jambalaya. They love hitting Bourbon Street, and I believe they'll have a motherfucking good night tonight in New Orleans. Load up on the Raptors. I don't mind if you want to do some Q shit, but do the full game. They're the better team. They'll win it. They'll cover and get out with a W.
Yeah, that's a good trend too. I always like that. What's the record of these teams off a loss? How do they respond? Well, 8-0 ATS after a point spread loss, 10-1 ATS after a straight up loss for the Raptors. So they've been just terrific in these bounce back type situations. That was surprising they lost against Denver because you're right. Nuggets were on a back-to-back on the road. They played in Boston the night before. It was certainly set up very nicely for the Raptors, but they fell short. We'll see if they can rebound tonight, literally and figuratively. Rebound the basketball and rebound from a loss against the Nuggets on Saturday. Wham, what do you think here, Toronto, New Orleans?
Yeah, I have a few plays on this game. I have the Pascal Siakam over 22.5 points. I just think it's a mismatch for him. And I am thinking about taking the Jonas Valanciunas points as well. I think he may have a mismatch as well on his side of the ball. But we don't expect him to play any defense. So, you know what I mean? I think the over might be really the play here in the grand scheme of things, just based off of what I believe what both offenses are going to be able to accomplish here. I do like CJ McCollum in this spot. I think he continues to play really well in this scheme. It seems like they threw him right out there, and he's pretty much responded really well. So I expect him to play really well there. I think the line is trappy, but I agree with Dutch, and I agree with you as well, Ian. I think this is a Raptor spot. I haven't bet the side here, but that's the way I'm leaning here, and maybe this is one of those games that I may be getting talked into.
All right, Skee, Toronto and New Orleans.
Yeah, I was looking at this line. I don't understand why it's going towards New Orleans, honestly. Raptors been playing really good basketball lately, winning and covering. And I don't know, it just seems kind of short. It seems fishy to me. So I thought about it a little bit more. I agree with what Wham is saying, that I think Valanciunas has a pretty good mismatch. Maybe they play through him, take advantage of that. But I wouldn't want to bet the Pelican side still. I think if you like them, you just like Valanciunas and play on him. I would have to play the Raptors. I haven't got there to the window yet, but it's the only way I can look.
See, this felt like Miami and New Orleans last week. When the Heat were at the Pelicans and it was laying 4.5. I'm like, why is Miami only laying 4.5 here? And what did they win? 112-97. They won by 15 in the end. So I kind of felt that way then about this too. Why is it so short on Toronto? And it didn't matter Thursday when Miami beat New Orleans and covered. So hopefully more of the same tonight. I'm not scared of where the line sits. I think Toronto's the way to go. All right, next up, we got San Antonio, Chicago. The Bulls, 3.5-point home favorites, 234.5 the total. So I've been riding Chicago over the total. It's been almost every game. It's like wash, rinse, repeat. Bulls over, Bulls over, Bulls over. Every single game for me. It's a little bit more difficult tonight because Zach LaVine's not going to play, and they do miss his offense significantly. I mean, big part of what the Bulls are such a good scoring team. But they miss Ball and Caruso and that defense of theirs just as much, if not more. And, I still think you've got Dosunmu playing well. You've got Kobe White. You've got DeMar, of course. You've still got enough, I think, offensively in the tank, even though you're going to miss LaVine for sure, because San Antonio can't stop anybody on a consistent basis. There's no question about that. They'll give it up. They play at a fast pace, the Spurs. So I'm not going to shy away, because I can count on one finger, essentially, how many times in the last 10 or 11 I've lost with a Chicago game over the total. So that's where I'm at here, over the total. I wouldn't get involved in the side either way. Certainly, people liking San Antonio, maybe catching the points because it's, I think, 3rd and 4 for Chicago, and no LaVine probably plays a part in that too, no question. But I think I'm just going to stick with, for the most part, what's been working for me for 2 weeks straight with Chicago Bulls games, and that's betting them over the total. Dutch, what do you think here, Spurs and Bulls?
Yeah, man, I like this play. I got it in at 5.5. I don't know what the line is at right now, but I believe the plus points is good. I think the Spurs win this game, to be honest with you. Even with LaVine, I kind of was looking the Spurs. I think they're kind of rounding around this road trip right now. They're playing good basketball, 2 impressive wins. They are 4-1 last 5 against the number on the road. 7-1. They play up to the competition as well. They're 7-1 last 8 ATS on the road versus a team, home team with a winning percentage greater than 60%. The Bulls are already, you touched on it, Ian. The Bulls are already a little light-handed, especially now with LaVine being out. I mean, they're very top-handed as well, to say. They rely a lot on Big Boots. They rely an awful lot on DeMar DeRozan. Big shout out to him, too. Just killing the motherfucking NBA right now. You see that stat that stat on Twitter? Only dude, if your name goes with MJ, hey, you're doing something right, bro, especially when it comes to Chicago, right? So big shout out to my guy, DeRozan. But tonight, man, I'm looking San Antonio away. I don't think he's going to be able to do it all by himself. I do believe, LaVine is a big piece. But Spurs are going to rally here. They're going to play well. And Murray and these guys, they got a couple additions as well. 4-0 ATS last 4 meetings against Chicago. They like to see the Bulls. And they're 3-0 straight up last 3 meetings. Average win, 11 points per game. Like I said, take the points, but I believe they win this game outright.
Yeah, I think it's a tricky spot for the Bulls. Like I say, I don't mind anyone maybe looking at the Spurs here in this one. The problem with the Spurs, though, is just their defense is not been great. And they played Chicago. They did beat Chicago, actually, last month, January 28th, in San Antonio. Spurs got the better of the Bulls that night, 131-122. High scoring, 253 points in that game. But that's been the routine lately for both of these teams. We've seen some big numbers for not only them, but their opponent in recent games. Skee, what do you like here, Spurs, Bulls?
I like the Spurs. I think the Bulls have been playing too many games over the past 2 weeks. I think they played 9 games. A lot of guys on that injury report. And Spurs, as far as net rating, been the better team in the last 5 games. Spurs first quarter has kind of been a thing for a while now. I know the last game I played the Spurs, first quarter cash, the full game lost. But I just like them to come out here versus what I think is a depleted, maybe even depleted, tired Bulls team and take advantage. So I'll play the Spurs first quarter +1, and I think the Spurs full game, it's moved down from 5 to 3.5. I think it's gone in the right direction.
Yeah, this is, I believe, for the Bulls. I'm just looking at it right now. 6th in 9 nights, 6th game in 9 nights for the Chicago Bulls. That's a lot of games in just 9 days. 6 games in 9 days. That is a very, very intense schedule for them. Wham, what do you think here? San Antonio, Chicago.
Yeah, I think like you mentioned, it's going to be a fast-paced game. The defense, if both of these teams has been suspect all year, especially as of recently, as far as for the Bulls. I do like to take advantage of some of those guys being out for the Bulls. So I am on the IO over 7.5 assists.
Yep.
Did split that with a unit with that and his double. I think he has to go make a change. We've seen him hit double assists before. So double at plus 300, plus 275 at Bovada. So you get a little bit of variance there. You can find in between that range there for the double for him. And on the other side here, I'm going to continue to go at Keldon Johnson, man, over 16.5 points. We hit that last time. I think that was the best bet last on Friday. We're going to go right back to the well with that one as well. And then also Devin Vassell over 12.5 points. Both of those at minus 110 for the 16.5 for Keldon, 12.5 for Devin. Both of them should go over the points. I think Derek White being out of the lineup for them is helping them, obviously. And the new guys coming in, I don't think they're going to take that much usage away from them. So I like those both props, and I like the over here as well. So the way I'm looking here as far as the best bet for me out of this game, I would say Keldon Johnson, just because it's been hitting at a high rate. He's averaging like 19 points over the last 6 games.
All right, there we go. A good props game. I agree. I mean, Wham liking a lot of props in a game with a high total. That's not usually a bad thing. No question. All right,
Yeah,
Orlando.
the chat's tripping real quick. The chat's tripping, man. They like the Bulls, man. They on some fucking bull ass shit. Hey, the Bulls ain't gonna win this game. I'm telling you right now. So I don't know who's saying that in the chat, but I seen a couple of them. Man, they're smoking some boo boo.
The chat is on the Bulls, and they're on some bullshit as well, according to Dutch. They're on the Bulls and some bullshit. Tonight. We'll see if we'll see. Bulls are definitely, I think, when all things are equal, the better team, but it's not all equal tonight. They played a lot of games. They're a little bit banged up. San Antonio's played a little bit better, and they're catching points. So interesting game. We'll see how it plays out. Orlando, Denver Nuggets, 11.5 point home favorites, 224.5 the total in this game. By the way, over 350 live viewers. We appreciate that. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. I'm not laying 11.5 with Denver in this spot because, they're coming off the 2 games on the road in the East against Boston and Toronto on back-to-back, and now flying home 3 games in 4 nights. They are returning home. They are playing better. They've covered 4 straight. They've actually 5-1 ATS their last 6 games. The losses were by 6 at Boston. They did lose to New Orleans, which wasn't the greatest performance there, and tough loss to Utah. But there's no doubt the Nuggets playing a little bit better here. Monte Morris, of course, the point guard's been injured. He's been battling concussion issues. He didn't play either of the 2 games on the road trip. Questionable tonight, which means it's a point guard by committee. That Michael Malone's got, Bones Highland, Campazzo. They're even playing Rivers a little bit at the point, so they've just done a little bit of everything, point guard by committee, if you will, for the Nuggets right now. But this is not a spot I'm ready to lay 11.5. Now, the Magic, we know it's been rough, right? 15-point loss at Utah. They got absolutely crushed by Phoenix on Saturday night, 132-105, non-competitive. There is some question marks about their ability to hang tough, against a clearly superior team, but this is not a spot I'm looking at. I'd look Orlando maybe more in the first half, plus 6.5, catch Denver a little bit sleepy, coming off the road trip, maybe not taking Orlando seriously. I'm actually very much tempted by that. I think it's a situational spot clearly for Orlando, maybe one they can take advantage of. Maybe don't trust them to hang for 4 quarters, although I lean to the full game on Orlando. I think I'd prefer first half look here on Orlando, plus 6.5, if anything. Wham, what do you think here, Orlando, Denver?
Yeah, this is a backwood for me, man. I'll probably have no action on this game. What I did have interest in is Wendell Carter. His double-double went from minus 200 to now being at plus money because he hasn't hit it. This could be an opportunity for him to hit it, so I am paying attention to that. But other than that, it's a backwood. I'm not on this.
All right, Dutch, what about you, Magic Nuggets?
Yeah, man. Big shout out to our guy JB Brown, our guy Mark Nick. I see you, my dude. Star Child. I don't know. He probably one of them motherfuckers in there. I was talking about the Bulls, motherfucker. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. I don't know. But yeah. Hey, shout out to our guy. Hey, Big Dan Kelly. I see you, my dude. But yeah, back with this motherfucker. Yeah.
All right, nothing for Dutch here. All right, Skee, Denver, Orlando.
Yeah, I wanted to look towards Denver first half over, but I'm through trusting Orlando to score. Every time I back Orlando in an over, it's disgusting. So backwood. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I remember the Utah game, and I kind of like the over against Utah as well. Friday night, I mean, 99 points. They don't even crack 100 in that game, and there was some pace. 84 shot attempts for Orlando, only connected on 37 of them. So, that's sometimes the issue for
Yo,
Orlando, getting that offensive
yo,
punch from
ski
them, and they
ski.
should be better than that with Anthony and Suggs in the backcourt, but it doesn't always happen for them. All right, we got, I think, just a couple. Go ahead, Dutch. Yeah.
Yo, my fault. Yeah, my fault. Ski ski. Don't ever apologize for a backwood, man. You're doing them a motherfucking favor, bro. All right,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. My fault. I had to let that be said. We don't
Yeah, I
apologize
was
for
about
shit.
to
Let
say
alone
it too back
definitely
here.
not a motherfucking backwood. Yeah, man.
Hey, there's some games that are shitty to bet on, and it's going to get worse from here. Like, if you think the last month of the regular season or the last few weeks, you've really got to pick your spots. Then it becomes really dicey. Teams that don't care, teams that are playing for positioning, playing teams that aren't. Yeah, you got to definitely be a lot more selective as we go later in the regular season here with the NBA, no question. All right, we got 2 games left, Houston and Utah. We got the Jazz 15-point home favorites, 232, 233 the total in this one. High total, obviously, which is usually the case with Houston, a team that on their best night is probably bad defensively. On their worst night, they're absolutely ghastly defensively. And man, they were against Toronto. I mean, the only thing the Rockets have in their favor is a greater amount of rest going into this game than Utah. But 0-4 straight up in ATS their last 4. What are they in their last 8? They're 1-7 straight up, 1-7 against the spread. The only win was against Cleveland when they had no point guard that night. The last 4 games, they lose by 25 at San Antonio, by 13 to New Orleans, by 13 at New Orleans in the rematch, and then by 19 against the Raptors. The Raptors run it back-to-back against Houston, too. I remember that game, and Raptors still smacked down the Rockets in that game. It's just very difficult to get to the betting window and say, yeah, I want the Houston Rockets, please. It's just very, very difficult right now. And then you've got Utah on the other hand, though, that are revving it up right now. 5 straight wins, covered in 4 straight, double-digit wins against Brooklyn, New York, Golden State, Orlando. So all of a sudden they're covering numbers. They're starting to smash teams again, winning by margin. Unfortunately, it was a difficult day, I'm sure, for the team to wave goodbye, say goodbye to hello, mate, their Aussie friend Joe Ingles, who'd been there for a very long time, no question. But still, the beat goes on for Utah. There's still more than enough that can beat you offensively with Bogdanovich, Royce the 5'9", O'Neal, Donovan Mitchell, Conley. You got Clarkson as well. I mean, there's a lot of options here that you can throw at this, or the Utah Jazz can throw at you here. So it's just a question of what can Houston do offensively, because we've seen Utah kind of shut down these weak teams like Orlando on Friday night. They only scored 99. So I'd lean over, but maybe I'd have more faith and confidence in a Jazz team total over potentially. But those would be the 2 considerations for me in this one. Skee, what do you think? Rockets, Jazz?
Yeah, I agree. If I want the over, it's the Jazz team total, but it's at 123. And I don't know, that just seems a little bit too high for me. But yeah, and even looking at the Rockets last 2 weeks, they are giving up 121 points per game, which is terrible, but it's still not 123, So
Right.
it's tough for me to back that. So when I look at this one, it's tough to always look at a Houston under. But Houston's games the last 2 weeks, averaging slightly under 230 points per game. Utah's game the last 2 weeks, averaging like 216. And just looking at, Utah's played 5 home games in the past 2 weeks. They're holding opponents under 100 points per game, so.
And all unders.
Yeah, all unders. So I don't think Houston's going to have success like offensively tonight. I think Utah can cover the spread because Rockets are going to give it up. Their defense is terrible. They're giving up, like I said, 121. So I think Utah covers the 14, 15, whatever it is. And if I have to bet the total, it's going to be under the 230. What is it, 233 now?
Yep.
Yeah, that's how I play it.
Yeah, there's reason to like the under. This could be 116.99 all over again, like it was Friday night, for Utah against Orlando. And it could be that way tonight against Houston, where, the big lead against a bad team, you maybe ease up a little bit. It's hard for them to find scoring. I find these teams that are bad, they kind of quit when they fall behind too. Orlando kind of did that. Maybe Houston does that. So it is a high number. It's a tall total tonight in that game. Dutch, what do you think here? Houston, Utah.
Yeah, man. Hey, real quick, if everybody's not following at Post Sports Radio on Twitter, be sure y'all go do that real quick. Because if y'all trying to vibe out with us next month, March, that's where you get all the info. They tweet out all that shit. So be sure, to answer all your questions there. Follow them right there. And speaking of vacation, I gotta give a shout out to the motherfucking Hyatt, bro. Hey, if you know, you know. But when you go to Hawaii, man, they got some crazy ass toilets. And let's just say, there's no reason for you to have a dirty motherfucking ass when you're in Honolulu. Let's just say that. But yeah, man, back with this motherfucker.
All right. Yeah, there you go. I agree. It's more useful
Well,
to people. Dutch put that time that he used to talk about that game to good use. He talked about the Pubapalooza
definitely.
next month in San Antonio, which is important. We want a lot of people to join us there. It's going to be a great time. Talk about a great hotel there in Hawaii. All of that is more important shit to get to than this game, to be quite honest with you. When you think about it, it's very true. Wham, what do you think here? Houston, Utah.
Yeah, I don't think we have to be scared to take Utah here, man. They just gonna smack their ass up, and it's based off of just what you know for you, Houston. They're bad at turning over the ball. They got the KPJ guy. He has been a little bit better. Last game only had 3, but I think he's gonna have more than 3 turnovers today. They're allowing opposing opponents 25 points off of turnovers, and this team is top 3 in that regard. As far as Utah, they're averaging 20 points off of turnovers. These guys are the dead last in turnover percentage at 18% over the last 5 games. And the Houston Rockets, it's the only way I could go here. It's just based off of them turnover the ball, they could cover the spread. You know what I mean? Not just let on how better they have been offensively and how bad defensively the Houston Rockets have been. They've been allowing opponents 53% over the last 5 games, which is dead last as well. So I like the minus 15, minus 14. I had it at 14 last night. That's the bet that I did make last night. But I like the 15 here for the Jazz. I think that is a good look.
All right, we got the final game now of this Monday night NBA card. A reminder, we've only got 4 shows this week as well. Our last show before the NBA All-Star break Thursday. So we won't have a show on Friday this week, and then we're not with you again until next Thursday. So we got a little bit of a break here, all of us on the show. We got a little 1-week break, recharge our batteries, if you will, for the next week during the All-Star break. So we're on till Thursday this week. That'll be our final show before the break. Then we'll be back next Thursday, which would be February the 24th, which is the first day for NBA regular season games after the All-Star break. So make sure you join us for that. Golden State, LA Clippers to wrap it up here. We've got the Golden State Warriors, road favorites in this game, 6-point road favorites, 219 the total in this one. We'll see how it plays out with these two teams tonight. Obviously, Golden State, clearly the better of these squads. There's no question about that. And coming off a narrow win against the Lakers on Saturday night, that was a pretty close one, 117-115. They were 6-point road favorites in that game. Just got the win. All of a sudden, they haven't covered in 3 straight, Golden State. They lost to the Knicks at home before that, got blown out at Utah. So a little bit of a downturn here for the Warriors. It looks like tonight, Draymond Green remaining out, but Klay Thompson will play. So it'll be Curry and Thompson, the Splash Brothers, together in the starting backcourt tonight. Wiggins, Kuminga, and Looney rounding out the starting 5 tonight for the Warriors in this one. As far as the Clippers go, they beat Dallas in their last game, 99-97. Nice win for the Clippers. They weren't playing really that good before that. Maybe Dallas kind of took them for granted. Dallas remember, Luka had the monster night against the LA Clippers in the first game where Dallas beat them 112-105. And wouldn't you know it, the very next game, Doncic again was terrific, 45 points, but didn't get a whole lot from everybody else other than Brunson. And as a result, the Clippers ended up, finding a way to win that game 99-97 in that one. Played some pretty good defense. Terrence Mann, Reggie Jackson, and Marcus Morris leading the way for a team that's still going to be without key cogs. Norman Powell's still out. Paul George is still out. Luke Kennard, game-time decision as well tonight with a left ankle injury. So it could be a short-handed Clippers team. I kind of lean Warriors here minus. I don't know if I want to lay 6 on the road, but I'd prefer that than taking the Clippers. So a lean Warriors minus 6. Lean to the under, too, because actually Golden State's been trending that way on the road. You look at Golden State, under at Utah, under at Oklahoma City, under at Houston. They've kind of trended under recently on the road. Maybe this one more of the same as well. So lean Warriors and under here in this one. Wham, what about you? Warriors, Clippers.
Yeah, the play that I did make on this game is right before we hopped on here was Jonathan Kuminga over 5.5 rebounds. He got the starting not last game, had 9 rebounds. It was at plus money last game. It's at plus money again this time. So it is based off of what, the lineups that they're going to throw out there, who they're going to stack up on defensive wise. But I think Jonathan Kuminga has a good chance of playing today within this wing infested Clippers lineup that they're going to try to throw out there. I think you're going to have a guy with that type of versatility defensively out there for Jonathan Kuminga to get over this 5.5 rebounds. So I do like that look. And as far as the side or total, as far as the side, I should say this. I do believe in what the Clippers have been doing this year. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors have been slumping. They did damn near lost to the Lakers. It looked pretty bad on that behalf there. So I could see the Clippers figuring this out and winning this game outright, covering the spread here. As far as the total, I'm not sure. It's 218.5 at the spot that I'm looking at here. So I don't know. I might stay away from the total here, but I do think that Jonathan Kuminga goes over the 5.5 rebounds. And it's at plus money, plus 110 on FanDuel, plus 105 on Bovada. So between that, you could get it.
Yeah, it really is about timing it right when you back Golden State. Some games they're up for it, some games they're not. Do you catch them when they're playing well? Do you catch them when they're maybe not playing as well? In the last 3 games, they haven't played as well. There's no doubt. I mean, the blowout loss at Utah, lost in the Knicks, which shouldn't have happened. And then, of course, barely beating LA, the Lakers on Saturday night. So may not be the right time to lay 6 with Golden State. We'll see. Or maybe the Clippers, why I'm thinking there could be a live home underdog here tonight in this one. Dutch, what do you think here, Warriors, Clippers?
Yeah, man. Real quick, I don't know how many likes we have, but one thing I do know, we don't got enough fucking likes. So hit that motherfucking like button. Hey, real talk, hit that motherfucking like button like our boy Borbano has been hitting the motherfucking book straight over the head. I mean, this shit's been impressive. So if y'all motherfuckers ain't hitting it like you just straight motherfucking hate, to be honest. But yeah, you already know, backwood this motherfucker.
There we go, backwood for Dutch in this one. Yeah, that's the one thing that's the good thing too about best bets for me lately. This 11-0 streak, these tough games, these very very tricky games. I've kept them off my best bet list, and this is definitely not going to be on my best bet list. This game, Warriors Clippers, it's a little bit tricky. Skee, what do you think here with Golden State LA?
Backwood game. I'm good on this one. I'll let y'all have it.
There we go. It's tricky. It is. I mean, Golden State, we know Golden State's better than the Clippers, but this kind of feels like if they're in a tight 3-4 point game in the final minute, it wouldn't shock you, because we saw it against the Lakers. We saw it against the Knicks in the last 2 games, but also Clippers off a rare upset win against Dallas. Do you trust them to be as good in the next game without Powell and still without PG? Kennard banged up as well. I don't know. Are some of those guys, Coffey and Mann and Reggie Jackson, going to shoot that well again? So it's a tricky game all around. I get it. All right. Great stuff. 377 live viewers. Hit the like button. Make sure you do that. We appreciate it. Great show once again with Skee, with Dutch, and with Wham. We got the Net Profit college basketball dynamic duo of Connor Mack and Maxwell Smart coming up at the top of the hour, 5 p.m. Eastern, right here on Pub Sports Radio. Remember, we got Die Hard MMA podcast Monday nights with Clint as well on the channel. Make sure you tune in for that as well.
We will have Brady going after Clint tonight too, because he didn't show last night because the Super Bowl was on. So we'll have back-to-back MMA joints tonight. Excellent.
There you go. It's a MMA Monday night right here on Pub Sports Radio. Make sure you check that out. That wasn't the most thrilling main event, Adesanya and Whitaker the other night, but that's what Adesanya is right now. He's a workman-like, business-like fighter. It's not going to always be exciting. It's not always going to be pleasing to the casual fan, but it's effective. He just does what he does.
Robert had no fucking game plan though, Babano. He came in there with nothing. He knew he was
Floyd Mayweather of UFC MMA right now. Israel Adesanya does what he needs to do to win. Doesn't care if he's exciting the fans or putting on a show. Just does what he needs to do to win right now. That's what he's doing. But check it out, MMA right here on Pub Sports Radio tonight. We got best bets, Dutch's freshest look. It's all coming up right after this. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. Southtown 101, where many of us will be next month in San Antonio. Manscaped, promo code PubSports, 20% off your purchase. Lawnmower 4.0 or any Manscaped product, get 20% off using promo code PubSports. And mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. Again, NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC. Yeah, football season's over, but there's still lots going on. Sign up for an account, mybookie.ag, Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit, mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports, and the Pub Rub. There it is. Check it out. Get 2 for $25 or $14.99 each. Get it at pubsportsradio.com. T-Mac, I think a couple of us bet college basketball. Skee does a little bit. I do every day, but this is an NBA show. We do bet. I bet college basketball, but this is an NBA show, so we don't talk about. We save college for Connor Mack and Maxwell Smart. They're coming up. Stay tuned, T-Mac. We got college basketball. We got you covered for that coming up right after our show, 5 p.m. Eastern time. So stick around for that if you're interested in college hoops. We're interested right now in some best bet winners in the NBA for tonight. So let's start with Wham. What do you like for best bet?
I think if it's not broke, don't fix it. So we're going to go over the Keldon Johnson for the San Antonio Spurs. Keldon Johnson over 16.5 points, minus 110. That's the best bet for today.
There we go. Keldon Johnson, San Antonio Spurs, over points prop. Best bet for Wham. Dutch, it's time from Hawaii, the freshest look.
Yeah, man. Hey, freshest look, I can't lie. Shit, it don't get much fresher than Hawaii, so I'm going to stay my ass right the fuck here. But I will give y'all motherfuckers a two-piece that will hit. We're going with the motherfucking Toronto Raptors, minus 3.5. And take the San Antonio Spurs, plus 3.5. I believe that line's out there right now. Though both of those motherfuckers are good money. Believe it. Yeah, man.
All right. Dutch looking for a little 3.5 magic tonight. In the NBA, plus 3.5 on Toronto, minus 3.5 on Toronto, plus 3.5 on San Antonio. A double shot of freshest looks for Dutch live.
Yeah, double shot. That's about what I'm about to go do right now. But Bono, you said it, bro. Double the fuck up. Yeah,
yep, double up time. All right, Skee, best bet.
I'm gonna go ahead and rock with two plays as well. I made one of them already. The other one I'm gonna make shortly after this. I've been thinking about it on the show. Spurs, first quarter plus 1. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And then also, Houston stayed under 108.5 points, 6 of their last 9 games. And on this 5-game win streak for the Jazz at the house, they haven't allowed anybody to reach that 108.5 point mark. So Houston team total under 108.5. Skee first quarter plus 1.
There we go. Houston team total under, and Spurs first quarter against the Bulls for a couple of best bets here for Skee Profit in this one. All right, best bets for me. Best bet. I'm only going to do one tonight. 11-0 run over the last, undefeated on this show in best bets. We're trying to keep it going for a third straight week. We're going for hopefully number 12 in a row, and we're going to stay close to home. I'm not buying into this line. People are saying, was this a trap? Why is this so short? I like them. Toronto Raptors minus 3.5 against the New Orleans Pelicans. They're great off a loss. They've been great on the road lately. New Orleans has had opportunities to step up in class, play good teams at home. They've not gotten the job done. Raptors minus 3.5 against the Pelicans for my best bet as we go for 12 in a row. Best bet winners here on the NBA Pub Hub. All right, great stuff with Skee, with Dutch, and we lost Wham, but great stuff from him as well. Hit the like button on the way out. We got Net Profit College Basketball coming up with with Connor Mack and Maxwell Smart. Looking forward to that. We'll be back with you tomorrow. We'll have Jay Money with us on the Tuesday show, breaking down the NBA card. So join us for that, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific tomorrow on the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. For Skee and Dutch and Wham, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Monday night. We'll see you again tomorrow on the Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch from Hawaii, take us home.
Yeah, man. You know where it's at, Pub Sports Radio. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the video. Yo, salute to the real ones. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed. Let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.